Hello, welcome to today's lesson on factors. In today's lesson, you will learn key vocabulary words that we need to understand factors. By the end of the lesson, you'll be able to recognize and state key vocabulary words when working with factors. All right, let's see what we need. The materials that we will need for this lesson are a pencil and your guided notes factors worksheet. Now I want you to check this out. We used factor set 1 in the first video, and now you need factor set 2. So make sure that that is what you're holding in your hand. And if you don't have it, feel free to pause the video right now and grab the correct one. Remember our vocabulary routine. I will introduce the word. We'll say it together. Don't forget to whisper if you're in the classroom. And then we'll discuss the definition and look at the picture. I'll remind you to pause and write the words on your paper that are highlighted in the presentation. Let's get started. Our first vocabulary word is product. Say it with me. Product. A product is the answer to a multiplication problem or a multiplication equation. Product. In our picture example, 8 is the product, right? It's the answer. In the equation, 3 times 5 equals 15. 15 is the product. 3 and 5 are a factor pair, and 15 is the product. In the equation, 3 times 7 equals 21, our product is, you guessed it, 21. So in math, a product is the answer to a multiplication equation. Product. And puzzle question. What is the product in the multiplication equation 9 times 8 equals 72? Looking at the multiplication chart, we know that the top row and the leftmost column are factors, just the first one of each, right? We combine them to create factor pair that multiply together to generate products. All of these numbers in the middle, they're the products. Ed puzzle question. Fill in the blank. When you combine two factors on the multiplication chart, you create a blank. Our next vocabulary word is equation. Say it with me. Equation. It's important to remember that an equation is a math problem with an equal sign, which indicates that both sides of the equal sign have the same value. Both sides of the equal sign will have the same value in an equation. Our picture example shows an equation in which we only know the product, the answer, and one of the factors, just one of the factors. I know that if I count by 5 3 times, then I will have 15, right? 5, 10, 15. Or 3 sets of 5 equal 15. So that tells me I can solve this equation by writing in 5 times 3 equals 15. It shows equal values on both sides of the equation. Ed puzzle question. True or false? It does not matter if both sides of the equal sign have the same value when solving an equation. Our final vocabulary word is prime number. Say it with me. Prime number. A prime number is a number with only 2 factors, or one factor pair, which is 1 in itself. So the factor is always 1, and it's always the number that is the product. Those are always factors of any number. Pause the video to fill in the blanks. Looking at our picture example, we see that 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11 are prime numbers. They each only have 2 factors, 1 and itself. We can also see that the array is a single row for each of these numbers, indicating that the number of dots is one of the factors, and 1, because there's only one array, is the other factor. That's it. We can check the multiplication chart to see if these numbers really are prime. So let's try 7. When you're looking for a product, you look in the middle area. So let's find a 7 in there. Here's a 7. We have 7 and we have 1, and that's where they coincide is 7. So 7 is a product of 7 and 1 is a product of 7. We could also find this 7. And again, 7 times 1. There are no other 7s in here because 7 is indeed a prime number. In a later video, we'll talk about composite numbers, which are numbers with more than 2 factors. So they're in pink on this sheet right here on our picture. It will be important to know the difference when we're factoring numbers later in this unit. To review, in this video, we learned key vocabulary for working with factors. We learned that a product is the answer to a multiplication equation. We learned that an equation is a math problem with an equal sign, which indicates that both sides of the equal sign have the same value. And finally, we learned that the prime numbers have only one factor pair, 1 and itself. Thank you for your attention and your hard work. When you've completed your guided notes page, please signal to your teacher that you're ready to have your guided notes checked, and you may choose a 5-minute brain break while you wait. See you in the next video.